Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this special edition as we are going to continue covering the inauguration of the new access in Alexandria, which was named after one of the veteran fighters and commanders of the armed forces, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, inaugurated on Monday Fouad Abu Zikri access in Alexandria, which boosts the links between the second Egyptian capital and the rest of the country, helping to achieve sustainable development goals in the governorate. As usual, Egypt will never and would never forget its sons who sacrificed their lives for the sake of its dignity, and it's not something not expected. It's really expected that Egypt is going all the time to remind the Egyptians with the veterans of fight of the armed forces. And of course, Honorary Marshal Fouad Abu Zikri did great and did a lot for the sake of this country. But we are continuing with the challenges. We are continuing to develop our infrastructure in an unprecedented manner. Well, in the past few years, Egypt witnessed a leap in developing our infrastructure despite the challenges we are all having. We are doing many things and going into many access or many ways in the very many roads in the very same way to achieve development and for the best interest not only of just this generation or for the 105 million Egyptians, but for millions of Egyptians, for the coming generations to lead a happy, decent life. And the word decent here is very important, and we are going to continue speaking about this. We are going to continue to shed more light on the achievement of today, and we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Professor Dr. Muhammad Al-Sadiq Auf, Professor of Transport Engineering. A very good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Sir, of course, when it comes to developing our infrastructure, this is a big challenge. And when it is considered one of the priorities of our political leadership, this means that the state is really keen to achieve on the ground tangible results regarding the sustainable development process. But when I was watching and listening to experts speaking about this access in specific, they spoke a lot about the challenges which were facing the construction of the access and how it was really challenging and considered by some impossible to do with this way. Would you please, I'd like to seize the opportunity of having you and to elaborate on that.
All right. For today, Field Marshal Fouad Abu Zikri corridor in Alexandria is extended for 35 kilometers from its intersection with Cairo, Alexandria, on the Desert Road to Sidi Career Road and Burj Al Arab Airport. It has 9 traffic lanes in each direction. 5 of them is highway and the 4 other are service lanes. Field Marshal Fouad Abu Zikri new access is considered an addition and a huge qualitative shift that would open up new development horizon for the entire west of Alexandria. It increases the urban space and connect the Khaila port with the Desert Road and the International Coastal Road. With the city of Burj Al Arab and become vital development artery to link Alexandria with the new Al Alamein city through the coastal road. Field Marshal Abu Zikri access is an additional new step in implementing the state's strategy in establishing a new network of routes and access throughout the Republic. Those access facilitate traffic and the movement of citizens that support the effort of the state and modern housing complexes, enhance economic and commercial return, provide job opportunities, and link national projects to integrate with each other as a reflection of comprehensive development vision and a profound scientific philosophy towards construction and reconstruction development This corridor paved the way for the new global road, which extends along Lake Marriott with a length of 35 meters to attract investment and urbanization of the back desert of Alexandria, which will have a positive impact on the national economy of the country. The process of development and expanding the road, which includes 9 traffic lanes, its design speed will be 120 kilometers per hour. The total surface area of the bridges in the current phase of the corridor is about 320,000 square meters. It has 18 bridges along the axis. Also, we've got more than 2,000 palm trees and 2,600 olive trees on the central island, and the space is available around the axis. This corridor is very important for Alexandria and the whole country to connect Al-Dakhala port with the
This was my coming question, sir, regarding the importance of these new huge national projects regarding the networks of roads and access for especially the industrial zones and for the ports like Al-Dakhala, as you've kindly mentioned. Would you please elaborate on that too?
And this corridor is very important for connecting Al-Dakhala port with Cairo Governorate and Alex as well, and also connect Alexandria with the New Alamein through the coastal road. This corridor is specifically designed to serve the Khala port. All our ports now are being rehabilitation, and they have many new projects for development, and we need to connect all these important ports with the main cities like Cairo and around Cairo. This corridor, you can pass through the corridor in about 25 minutes only between the Cairo Desert Road and the Khala. This road also serves New Al-Alamein city and the region of King Marriott Road. Also in this project, we've got expansion work of Sidi Krir Bridge with a length of 640 meters, and the width is about 40 meters now, which is about double the width before, to accommodate the next movement after development. In addition to the hydraulic, crossing work on the axis, crossing works between the axis on the canals, the drains for irrigation around the area. We've got about 22 culverts to pass through the corridor. The total length of this crossing works is about 4,500 linear meters. Also, the expansion of the reconstruction axis required purification of lakes with an amount of about 3.5 million cubic meters, in addition to backfilling earthworks about 18 million cubic meters. So it's very huge project for development of the Alexandria Governorate and the around cities.
Yeah, and this project was implemented by a number of companies, and here it's the importance of having this very fruitful cooperation between the public and private sectors to build or to construct such projects in a way that's really not less at all than what's going on in the very much developed countries. No, it's maybe better, if I may say so, and built according to the latest international standards. True?
Yes, true. And this corridor, I wanted to point out that national companies, general and private, only constructed the axis. And it is an Egyptian experience, especially in the company or the main consultant of the corridor. And all these works were not traditional, and it was constructed to the latest standard, the latest international standard, because the corridor passes through very, very bad soil. So we've got trouble and soil problems during construction, and the main consultant of the corridor has carried out much effort to overcome all these soil problems in order to finish the construction of such a corridor.
I was really proud when I was listening to the senior engineer, Engineer Abdesalam, when he was talking in front of the president and speaking about what you have kindly mentioned regarding the clay soil, mentioning that it was that tough and that hard and nearly impossible to deal with in such a huge project. And I was also very proud of Mr. President when he honored him and when he thanked him for the efforts they exerted to finish or to accomplish this huge national project and on time. Sir, also it was mentioned that there were thousands of Egyptians who were totally responsible for the issue. It's our hands. How do you see such projects, sir, in affording more job opportunities and to prove that we can do miracles if we do have this in mind?
Such a project will offer many job opportunities for many people around these areas. Also, I wanted to mention that many projects such as industrial, agriculture, or many development projects will be constructed in both sides of the new axis, and all these projects will help to develop the economic situation of Egypt. And also I wanted to mention that about Dkhela port, after the development and after construction of such a port, the export and import between these incoming projects and the Dkhela port will, I suspect that will have positive effect on the economic situation of Egypt.
And will attract more direct and indirect investments, whether by Egyptians or foreigners. As the Americans are saying, build it and we'll come.
It is, yes. I suspect that it will attract internal and external developers and investors, and also especially this area in that corridor is constructed is very promising. It's a very promising area, especially around King Mariot Lake, and this area is promising for tourist investment. I mean, so we need some investors to help and to help us to develop such areas.
And since, sir, you are road security expert too, these projects, of course, among the main goals or the main targets of achieving these projects or realizing, implementing these projects on the ground is to save lives. Because it's really amazing to put saving life as a first priority. Now with this, we would prevent accidents, we would prevent these tragic accidents which were happening in this area by developing our infrastructure and putting the new roads and new access as of the first priority of the state. If you want to elaborate on this too.
The first priority of the state, I think that to reduce accident rate, and to reduce number of people who died in such accident. And I think all the transportation network that has been constructed in Egypt indeed reduced the accident rate in Egypt, and we suspect that we will get more reduction in accident rate after the new acts that started today.
Sir, one final question. Now I can say it loudly that Alexandria, this wonderful city, now it's witnessing a leap in its infrastructure and its image in general. And this is only a start. And we are expecting that many other developmental projects are going to take place to turn our even old cities into new ones.
Yes, the axis serves the future expansion of, I stated, the Khela Airport, and now I wanted to point out about the port, the Khela and Alexandria Airport. Alexandria with the coastal road will be connected throughout such a project, which is a qualitative leap that will attract investment, which requires an integrated road work. Any investor needs to work in Egypt will ask firstly about the infrastructure, and especially the road and the transportation network in such country. He also asked about the connection between the airports, or water ports and cities can export and transport any goods or raw materials. If you want to export raw materials, for example. So we suspect that will have a positive effect on the economic situation.
Well, Professor Mohammed Sadiqov, Professor of Civil Engineering and Transport Engineering, thank you very much for your input, sir, and have a very good afternoon. We are going to continue our coverage. Stay tuned on Nile TV International always for more updates, and for more details, please log on to www.nileinternational.net. Many thanks for watching. This was Nermina Abdurrahman.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Cultural Magazine. We have a lot in store for you in this episode, so stay tuned.